Stories of online love scams have become increasingly common in recent years, and victims of such deceptions are found all over the world. Among them were two Russian women, a mother and daughter who, believing in the sincere feelings of their partners, entered into romantic relationships with men from Africa. It all started in 2021. The mother was 43 years old at the time, while her daughter was 21. Their chosen ones managed to convince them that their intentions were serious, and that behind the beautiful words, there was true love. However, instead of a happy ending, this story turned into a painful life experience that confronted Alla and her daughter with the harsh reality. Neobichna Veza Alla Kolegova worked as a cook in a restaurant, while her daughter Yulia worked as an administrator. They lived in Irkutsk and had always loved to travel. After visiting Turkey and Thailand in 2020 at the height of the pandemic, they decided it was time for new destinations. Although at that moment they had almost no money for travel, they made a fateful decision to sell their two-room apartment, invest some of the money, and move to warmer climes. In November, the deal was closed, and mother and daughter went to distant Tanzania, to the island of Zanzibar. The beginning was like something out of a romantic movie. On the second day, during lunch at a restaurant, a handsome young man who introduced himself as Vova approached them and asked if they spoke Russian. Although he spoke with an accent, he made it easier for them to communicate. His real name was Salim, but he used a Russian name to approach tourists. He soon offered them excursions, and then his colleague, who introduced himself as Nikita, real name Jum, joined them. Vova was 27 and Nikita was 30. Russian women described them as African gods, charming, gentle, and attentive. Alla began a relationship with Vova and Yulia with Nikita, from idyll to collapse. For months they enjoyed the idyll, swimming with dolphins, diving, and joint trips seemed like a prelude to a serious future. Both young men were from the Masai tribe, which did not bother the Russian women. They were in love and happy. After a short return to Russia, Alla and Yulia returned to Zanzibar, again bringing gifts, from exotic foods such as sour cream to various equipment. They even started a channel on YouTube to promote their partner's tourism services, thus securing them many new clients. But the idyll was shattered when their visas expired. Although they had planned to bring the young men to Siberia and start a life together by the sea, their plans suddenly fell through. Shortly after returning to Irkutsk, mother and daughter posted bitter messages of disappointment on social media. They drew money. It turned out that Vova and Nikita were just extracting money from them and then cynically abandoned them. Russian women later came into contact with other victims of the same men. To make matters worse, 2021 was financially disastrous for them on several levels. The money from the sale of their apartment, which they invested in a financial pyramid, hoping to make a profit, disappeared irretrievably while they were on a trip to Egypt. Despite everything, Alla and Yulia claim that they have not lost their spirits, even though they have been left without love and without a roof over their heads.